wrestling coach, Coach Jimmy Myers. I'd like to start off by naming the roster. Nan Calaria, Kyle Loki, Luke Matanovich, Taylor Page, Jacob Rogers, Andrew Motley, Chase Philemon, Brandon Poole, Kyle Oker, Nathan Rogers, Keenan South, Kevin Williams, Luigi Compaverde, Andrew Watt, Tanner Small, Alex Black, John Jones, and John Draper. Excuse me, my list is a little longer. Austin Gage and Adam Abarelli. A couple things I'd like to mention. One, of course, is our record. We finished 24-13. Very remarkable record of different, going in the right direction. One thing that the wrestling got voted that I'm very proud of, but in our Southern Piedmont Conference was voted the #1 toughest conference in 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A in the state of North Carolina. Our team finished 3rd in our conference, which is very impressive considering wrestling and where it's taken off to in North Carolina. So to finish 3rd, very impressive. A couple memories that I like from our team this year. My biggest memory is on Christmas Day, we all met at about 1 o'clock and headed to the VA hospital. There was about 40 parents and wrestlers that all attended on Christmas Day, so it was a very heartwarming and very fun, exciting time to be there at the VA hospital with a lot of veterans. And of course, most of those people their families weren't there, so that was sort of our fill-in, which was very, very cool. And was our 2nd year doing it, and can't wait to get back here this Christmas coming up. I'd like to thank, I don't think they're here tonight, but our trainers, Eric Zirkle and Brittany Ward. They're constantly dealing with the wrestlers. There's always somebody hurt, somebody injured, bloody noses, and hate to say it, but it's just nature of the beast of that sport. But I appreciate everything that they've done for us. Our mat managers, Meredith, Ashton, Lauren, and Peyton, appreciate them also doing the books and doing everything that they did for us, cleaning the mats. Of course, they have made some sandwiches for the guys and baked cookies for wrestlers that should be eating cookies, but did a great job there. Well, first award, or sort of a all-conference, is Kyle Oker. Okay, individual awards. I'd like to start off. The first one is the Courage Award. Just a lot of people don't know this story. It's a cool little story, and I'll try to make it quick. But last year in the 2011-2012 season, I'm going to tell you his name because you're going to know it's him. But
it's up there in the board.
But Chase actually got hurt the very first match of the 2011-2012 season. He thought it was just a bruise on his hip. Ended up turning out to be a lot worse. It went on for about a week. He wrestled, I think, about 4 matches. His last match was on a Tuesday night, and he basically collapsed after the match. Parents really weren't too sure what was going on, and ended up taking him to doctors, emergency room, went back and forth with that, trying to get answers to what was wrong, and sort of getting a run around, maybe just a tear, a muscle pull. And this was going on for, probably about 4 or 5 days. I can't remember exactly if it was a Saturday or Sunday, but I stopped over to visit Chase's house, seeing how he was doing, and could see the pain he was in, could see the frustration in Mr. and Mrs. Philemon, just not sure what was going on. Made a phone call to Mr. Zirkle and just explained to him what was going on. He recommended Dr. Griggs, got him in down there. He ended up going into the Dr. Griggs. They recommended him right away to go to the emergency room. Once at the emergency room, they admitted him right away and said he was going to have surgery the next morning. What he ended up having, he had an infection in his SI joint in 4 different pockets, and it was just a bad bacterial infection. He ended up getting transferred down to the Levine down in Charlotte. But one thing that actually saved this young man's life, believe it or not, was that the infection wrapped around his sciatic nerve, which created a lot of pain. Without it wrapping around that sciatic nerve, he probably wouldn't be here today. It was just it's a remarkable thing. So for him to know that, his parents, I couldn't imagine going through that with your child. Of course, you always want it to be yourself and not your child. But to see this young man step up, come back this year, and step up and post a 39-12 record, it's just incredible. I think he might have had 8 or 9 matches last year. But just a really, really good guy. If there's a definition for courage, it's definitely, Chase. Most kids get a broken arm, they don't want to come back and wrestle or go back and play football. He was probably, 2 or 3 days away from, getting buried. And, this man just stepped through and went after and ended up, coming back out and having a great year. He ended up playing golf about 2 months later, but definitely deserving of the Courage Award. Please give an applause to Chase.
Yay, Chase!
The next 2 awards are the wrestler, Outstanding Wrestler of the Year.
Oh my.
Both these 2 wrestlers posted both 45 wins, which is a single season record. For some reason, they wanted to tie each other. They were both state qualifiers. They're both captains on the team, along with Chase Philemon, who's also a captain. There's a difference between and wrestling and maybe some swimming and basketball, things like that. But, there's a difference between, and I tell my guys, if you want to be Cox Mill good, show up for practice on the first day of practice. If you want to be better than Cox Mill, you got to train all year long, whether you're lifting weights, running, you got to be doing something with your sport. We do got many guys that train year-round. Kyle and Tanner definitely train year-round, lifting, weight-wise. Kyle attended the camp for 28 days. Tanner joined a couple of different wrestling programs, wrestling 3, 4, 5 days a week, touring off. That's what they do great. It's cool that you can't do what everybody else is doing. You got all this in work. So to the 2 wrestlers of the year, because of the same time, Tanner Small and Kyle.
All the blonde hair. You might want to mention they've died there, whoever stayed.
Oh no, he said something.
Oh yeah.
And also, while qualifier. Thank you.